YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Movie Zone with me, your host Jonathan, aka the Doctor of Movies. Welcome back to another episode because honestly, we're kind of close to Batman v Superman now, so might as well continue up my Man of Steel, Superman movies, recap and reviews of all the movies. So I already did all the Batman, so you can go check those out. And now I'm almost done with Superman. Now, the movie I'm talking about today is Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. Well, this is a very strange movie, honestly, because this movie came out in 1987, I believe. I'm guessing it correct. Couple years before, even after Batman. I'm not really too sure. Now, with the success of Batman, they decided, let's make a Superman 4. That should be fun. And, no, this movie's not good at all, actually. This actually, how can I put this in a nice way? This makes the Batman and Robin, the Dark Knight movie we all love and hate at the same time. That's how bad this movie is. Let me start this off by saying the plot of this movie. Basically, you have Superman returning, Christopher Reeve, obviously. It's always good to see him. And then, of course, you have Gene Hackman returning as Lex Luthor himself. He wasn't in the third one, and if I said he was, I apologize. I don't think he was in that movie at all. And now he has a son who plays Lionel Luthor. I don't know. It's ridiculous. So basically, here's the plot. Superman's doing his thing, yada yada yada, like he always does. Saves the day, truth and justice, American way. And Lex Luthor decides, I'm going to make my own Superman. I'm going to clone him. And while he's trying to do that, they decided to open up a Superman museum with all his, history and all his wisdom. And there's a piece of his hair. Listen to this. There's a piece of his hair holding up like an anvil, very heavy anvil, and it's like holding it with one piece. That's how strong Superman is, okay? So now get this part. Before Lex decides he wants to create a Superman, he needs, what else? DNA from Superman himself. So he goes into this museum, broad daylight, taking the tour, like, no other, just waving, taking pictures, like a regular tourist will at a museum. So what does he do? He goes into he finds Superman's little lock of hair that's holding up the anvil, and he cuts it. Takes that and he makes his own Superman. But he doesn't even call it Superman 2 or Bad Superman. He just calls this guy Nuclear Man. And while all that's happening, Superman's doing his own thing because apparently he decides that he wants to make sure that the world knows you don't need nuclear weapons anymore. So Superman comes up with this plan that's like, let me disarm all your nuclear arms from every country and toss it to the sun. Now, basically, besides that as the plot, you got this Nuclear Man who basically wants to, upstage Superman and be better than him. And, Lex wants him to basically destroy Superman. And, he has basically all the same powers as Superman except for one weakness. It's not really affected by kryptonite, but he does have a weakness. And you figure this guy's weakness would be hard to figure out. This guy's weakness is so stupid, it makes Plastic Man look stronger than him. Yeah, I said it. And the Wonder Twins, if you remember the Superman Friends TV cartoon show. Wonder Twin powers activate, Animal Changer, Water guy. The Water one could beat him easily. It's ridiculous. Listen to this. This guy's weakness is basically darkness. Let me repeat that. This guy's weakness is the darkness. The sun goes away for like 5 seconds and behind a cloud or it turns to night. This guy's power just turns off and he just goes like this. Like a robot. I'm like, that is the most strangest, stupidest power I have ever heard. It makes Plastic Man, the Wonder Twins, hell, it even makes Scooby-Doo look even better. And Scooby-Doo's just a dog. Scooby-Doo can beat this guy up. This guy is pathetic. Like, honestly, this is got to be the weakest villain ever, okay? Honestly, because in paper and theoretically he looks powerful, In a broad daylight, obviously, he could beat Superman and stand toe-to-toe to him. But during the nighttime, no, guy's powerless. No power. I mean, what kind of power is that? Okay, first of all, besides that being a huge negative for me in this movie, the effects again, what the hell? Like, honestly, the effects are just as bad as it was in 3. I think even worse. This actually makes... Nah, I don't know. I might have to do a comparison of which is worse, this or Batman and Robin, because those effects in both movies are very bad, okay? This is just horrible. There's a scene where you see Superman flying, like supposedly flying, and it's just a still picture of him just like this, and the camera's moving, make it look like he's flying. It's like, honestly, him not even flying. It's just like they just grabbed Christopher Reeve, tied him up, hanged him up sideways, and he did a pose, and they took pictures of it to make it move like he's moving. So he's not really moving. He's just standing there while everything else moves around him. It's that bad CGI. This movie is horrible. I don't get this movie. I think I was young when this movie came out too. I think I was like, I don't know. I must have been either been born or I haven't been created in this earth yet. Because honestly, this movie is that bad. And when I first saw it, I must have, probably as a kid, must have been like, oh yeah, this is cool. I still like Batman better, but this is cool. I went back. I can go back to back in time if I wanted to, and slap myself because honestly, this movie is garbage. I had to watch it just so I can do this review because honestly, I just wanted to do it so I can tell you guys about this movie. Because if you've never seen this movie, I'm trying to save your lives because honestly, this movie is bad. Unless you're at a party and you guys have these games where, I know there's a game right now. I don't know what's it called, but a lot of people like to drink and then get wasted and watch stupid movies. This would be a good one to watch because this movie is retarded. First of all, let me talk about this whole Lex Luthor thing. I love Gene Hackman. He's a great actor. My favorite movie with him is The Quick and the Dead. Great Western movie, by the way. Not my personal top 10, but it's up there. It's like maybe 5. It's up there. But he's good in that movie. This, I liked him better than the first one. I wish he was more like that. The criminal, the conniving, self-billionaire who's a genius who wants to basically destroy Superman, the right way. I just hope Jesse Eisenberg does it better, but let's see what happens. And literally, first of all, when he goes to the museum and he wants to take Superman's hair, I think to myself, when I watched this, I really looked at it. Because as a kid, I didn't really know too much about Superman lore. If Superman's supposed to be invincible and bulletproof and all that, knives can't hurt him, guns can't hurt him, scissors obviously can't hurt him, you figure his hair can withstand bullet shots and burns and all that stuff. And scissors, I don't know how scissors work on Superman's hair. I don't think it would even cut it. I think it would break. That's just my opinion. I think it would break. I'm pretty sure it would break. But honestly, this is weird. That he can just go into... First of all, he goes to this museum broad daylight where there's a lot of tourists around. He just goes there, breaks the glass, and you can tell the glass is fake too. Because the way it falls down is just... Wow. He breaks the glass, and then he just cuts the hair like it's nothing. And the anvil's hanging, people. You gotta understand this. The anvil's hanging, and you figure, he cuts it, it will fall to the ground. Gravity. And, nope, this thing is still hanging in the air, like... Okay, that defies logic. So, whatever, move on to the next scene. Then you have Power Man, or whatever the hell they call it, Ultraman, and whatever they call this guy. He's powerful, he can stand toe-to-toe to Superman, but when the lights go off, this guy is basically nobody. A random guy with nerd glasses who's on his way to the Comic-Con convention can jump this guy easily. It's that simple, if it's a nighttime thing. Honestly, he can just put him to a tree. He's like, listen, if you want to fight me, let's go to a tree. And there's shade there, all that stuff. This guy will go down in not even 2 seconds. That's how bad this guy is. And then they go to the moon and they start fighting there. And, they fight, and then I think about it like, wait a minute. If he's on the moon, and how can he be fighting? And then I'm like, oh wait, the sun's facing the moon, so yeah, it kind of makes sense that the reflection of the sun can help him fight. And even that, after Superman moves the Earth so that way this guy can't, have the sunlight, he just goes down. And he beats him and it's over. And another thing, like I was saying about the beginning, about how Superman's trying to get all the nuclear weapons of the world gone, he catches it in a huge-ass net. First of all, where did he get the net? How is that even possible he can do that in space? And I don't know, it's just bizarre to me. And then there's a scene where Nuclear Man kidnaps people and he takes them to space to hold them hostage. And these people are breathing in space like there's no tomorrow. Like, it's like, oh, well, space is a great place to visit. We should all go there, Jimmy. That's going to be a great trip, son. You don't need helmets. It don't make zero sense. Guys, listen, Superman 4 is just garbage. Like I said, deep down, I love Christopher Reeve as Superman. He will always be Superman. But I think he just took it for a paycheck. So he can be like, listen, fine, just pay me whatever, and I'll do one more, I'm done. And then, honestly, he's actually more better in Smallville. When he plays in Smallville, granted, of course, he's, handicapped, of course, and he still had it. If you want to watch him playing Superman, not really Superman, more like, kind of like a Clark Kent character, but he wasn't really Clark Kent. In Smallville, look it up. He's fantastic. But yeah, rest in peace to him because he was great. He could have been one of the great ones right now. But this movie, bad. The score of this movie, I'll be nice. Just the fact that because Christopher Reeve, I'll be nice. I'll just give it a 1. That's it. I'll give it a 1. It's that bad of a movie because honestly, if I go to 0, I don't know. I feel like I gave 0 to the other one already, or I gave it. Yeah, I think I gave it a 0. I don't remember what I gave it. These movies are just bad. This makes the Schumacher more watchable. Batman Forever, and then if you want to watch Batman and Robin, that's even a worse train wreck. That nearly killed Batman for me. Period. That did kill Superman, but then when I get to the other one, then I'll talk about that one. But anyway, there you go. So let me know what you think. Have you seen Superman 4: The Quest for Peace? What did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you make this movie made you cry? If you've seen it, if you remember it, going to the movies or whatever, let me know. And always stay tuned, and I'll see you later when I do my review for Superman Returns. So let's see if Superman comes back stronger. Thank you, and have a good day.